There is only a short time left before the good thing I am preparing touches your life. And I want you to open your heart right now and listen in peace. My beloved child, do not treat this moment as something accidental passing through your day. I am not calling you here to frighten you, nor am I placing before you a countdown that will throw your heart into confusion. I am calling you as a merciful Father bending close to you, placing my hand upon your shoulder, and reminding you that the things you have prayed for have not been forgotten. Good news is being brought to you by my hand. A door is beginning to open. A shift is gently moving into your life, but before you step into it, I want your heart to be prepared, your mind to become still, and your faith to be awakened from long weariness. You do not need to tell everyone about what I am doing within you while the seed is still sprouting. There are blessings that need to be kept in silence before they fully appear. Not because I fear that the words of people can stop my power, but because I want you to learn wisdom in guarding what is precious. There are dreams that, if spoken too soon, will meet voices that do not understand, doubtful looks, and comments that make your heart waver. Therefore, I teach you to cherish what I place within your heart, to pray before announcing, to wait before sharing, to let me complete my work before you allow the world to touch that young joy. What is meant specifically for you does not need to be exposed in haste. It needs to be held in trust. A door is opening, my child, but understand that not every door opens with a loud sound. Some doors open through a timely encounter, an opportunity sent in an ordinary way, a word that awakens you, peace returning after many days of chaos, or a small change that you later realize turned your entire journey. Do not despise humble beginnings. Do not take lightly the small signs of movement. I often begin great things quietly, so you may learn to recognize my hand not only in radiant miracles, but also in quiet arrangements full of mercy. I know you have passed through long sleepless nights. I know there are questions you have repeated again and again in your heart without finding an answer. I know the times you tried to appear fine while inside you only wished someone could understand the weight you were carrying. I saw every tear you quickly wiped away so no one would notice. I heard every small prayer, every sigh, every moment when you wanted to give up but still chose to rise. You thought you had been left in silence, but I was there. You thought your prayers had fallen into emptiness, but they came before me. You thought the waiting only made you weaker, but in the secret place, I used that very waiting to make the roots of your faith grow deeper. Today, I remind you that you have not been forgotten. You have not slipped out of my sight. You are not a child left outside the good plan of heaven. I know your name. I know your circumstances. I know what you need. I know what you fear. And I know what you have not dared to hope for again. And because I know, I am preparing an answer more fitting than you imagine. What comes may not look exactly like the picture you painted in your mind. But trust me, I am never poor in the way I give grace. I can bring what you need through an unexpected path, a person you have not thought of, an opportunity you once did not see, or a shift that seems small but leads you to the right place. The time before you is not meant for panic, but for preparation. Prepare by laying down the voices of fear. Prepare by forgiving yourself for the days when you were tired. Prepare by clearing your heart of the things that have piled up for too long: doubt, self-blame, bitterness, disappointment, and the words others once spoke that made you feel small. I do not want you to step into a new season while still carrying the burdens of the old one on your shoulders. I want you to enter with open hands, not gripping the past, with a tender heart, not closed because it was once wounded, with an awakened mind, not pulled away by every noise around you. A breakthrough is being released. But that breakthrough is not only an outward change. It begins when something within you no longer believes you are trapped forever. It begins when you stop calling delay failure. It begins when you recognize that closed doors cannot erase the promise I have placed upon your life. It begins when you believe that I can still renew what has dried up, rebuild what has fallen apart, and bring light into the rooms of your heart that you thought had been occupied by darkness. When I open a new season, I do not only change circumstances, I change the way you stand before those circumstances. I give you steadiness, so blessing will not lead you astray, and trials will not make you forget who you belong to. Listen until the end, not because I want to test your patience, but because some things are only recognized by a heart that does not give up halfway. Many people want miracles, but do not want preparation. Many people want an open door, but do not want to learn how to walk through it wisely. But I do not only want to give you good news, I want you to have enough peace to receive it, enough clarity to steward it, and enough humility not to forget its source. Therefore, do not let impatience pull you ahead of my guidance. Do not let doubt make you turn away right before dawn appears. Do not let old habits cause you to take lightly a new sign. I see the battle you have quietly carried. I know the places where you were misunderstood, the times you had to be strong when no one asked whether you were tired, the responsibilities you carried while others saw only the results and not the price you paid. But today, I remind you that you do not have to fight alone. I am your Father, your protector, the one who goes before you to prepare the way and comes behind you to keep you. When you are weak, I do not leave. When you are slow, I do not despise you. When you tremble, I do not let go of your hand. I know how to lift you without breaking you. I know how to repair the road without letting you become lost. I know how to bring good news at the right time, so you will understand that your waiting was never meaningless. Therefore, in this time, remain in peace. Pray with simple words. Clear your heart of hurry. Pay attention to what I place before you: a call, a message, an idea, a gentle prompting, a small door, a peaceful confirmation. Do not force me to act according to the way you have already decided, because my love is wider than your imagination. Let me surprise you with pure goodness, with timely care, with a way opened that you could not create for yourself. My beloved child, the good news that is coming is not meant to make you proud, but to comfort you and remind you that I am still faithful. The door that opens is not meant for you to run through in haste, but for you to enter with gratitude. The breakthrough being released is not meant for you to forget the lessons of the old season, but to carry with you the wisdom that was refined through tears. Trust me. Let your heart become tender again. Receive this preparation as a gift, I am leading you into a new time, where things that seemed delayed will begin to move, where weariness gives way to hope, where silence is replaced by a gentle answer, and where you will know with certainty that I have never stopped seeing you, never stopped loving you, and never stopped opening a way for you in the light of eternal love. For I am sending you good news, a great shift, a merciful deliverance, a deep healing, and a miracle that will silence every voice that once said you could not overcome. My beloved child, you have waited too long in seasons where it seemed nothing was changing. You have woken up through many days that felt the same, carrying the same heaviness, facing the same wall, asking for the same thing, then wondering whether your prayer was still being heard. The world tried to convince you that everything would always remain this way, that your circumstances had already been fixed within limits, that what was delayed would never arrive, that what was broken would never be restored. But the world does not know me. They do not know how I work in the secret place. They do not know that when you thought everything was silent, I was still arranging every detail behind the veil of the present. I have connected things you could not reconnect on your own. I have prepared hearts you have never met. I have placed your name in conversations you have never entered. I have moved pieces that seemed scattered and brought them into their rightful place. I have shaken systems that seemed impossible to change, opened paths that seemed completely blocked, and directed the attention of the right people toward you at the right time. You kept thinking I was silent, but my silence never means my absence. There are times when I do not speak much because I am doing much. There are times when I do not answer in the way you expect because I am preparing an answer greater than what you dared to ask for. There are times when I allow everything to remain still for a while, not because I have forgotten, but because I am building a shift more stable than what your eyes can recognize. Now, a call has sounded in the heights on your behalf, and the movement has begun. What I speak is not a general word meant to drift through the crowd. This is a private word, a stirring meant for you in this very moment. That is why I teach you to keep certain things hidden until I have completed them. Not everyone is invited into the place where I am meeting you. Not everyone is allowed to hear what I am whispering to your heart. There are sacred things that, if brought out too soon, can be disturbed by voices that lack wisdom. There are blessings that need to be covered in silence until they are mature enough to stand before the eyes of others. I do not call you into secrecy to isolate you. I call you into secrecy to protect the precious thing I am planting in your life. Understand that I am calling you specifically, not because you are more perfect than others, but because I have placed my love and purpose upon your journey. You are chosen not to become proud, but to become grateful. You are favored not to look down on anyone, but to recognize that my mercy kept you through the seasons when you thought you could not rise again. You are deeply loved, not with a fragile love that changes according to your performance, but with the love of a father who saw you even in the days when your heart was weak, when you were lost, when you no longer knew how to pray. And I will prove that love not only with words, but through what I am about to do next in your life. You will see that my hand has not become short. You will see that my grace has not been delayed by time. You will see that my promise has not been cancelled by the seasons of your weariness. You once asked me for a sign, and I am placing that sign before you with gentleness. But this is not merely a sign for you to see and then continue doubting. This is a reminder that the promise is still alive. The things you once prayed for and then quietly laid down because you thought perhaps they were no longer meant for you, I still remember them. The prayers you once spoke through tears and later did not dare mention again because you feared more disappointment, I still keep them in my mercy. The desires you once buried deep because life forced you to become more realistic, I still know each of them by name. I will answer, not according to your impatience, but according to the fullness of the time I have appointed. And when the answer comes, you will understand why I did not allow certain things to happen sooner, why I closed some doors, why I separated you from certain places, and why I allowed you to grow in the silence. I will bring peace into your chaos. I will enter the areas of your life where you have stopped hoping they could change. I will touch the memories that still make your heart ache, the worries that still wake you up, and the questions still hanging in your heart. I will not merely soothe the outward surface, I will reorder what is tangled from within. I will turn the very thing that once broke you into the reason you stand stronger, wiser, softer, and brighter. What once made you bow your head in shame will no longer define you. What once made you think you had lost will become evidence that I know how to turn the lowest place into the foundation for rising. What was once used to push you down will become the step into an uprising covered by grace. You were not created to live forever stuck. You were not created to be defeated by what is only temporary. You were not created to be forgotten in the shadow of others. I created you to walk in the light, to stand firm in truth, to carry the beauty of my mercy, and to become evidence that a life lifted by me is no longer imprisoned by the past. You have passed through the mud, but the mud is not your home. You have passed through rejection, but rejection is not your name. You have passed through disappointment, but disappointment is not the place where you must pitch your tent. I am lifting you from the places that once made you small in your own eyes, and I am placing you where my peace, dignity, and purpose can shine through you. When I lift someone up, I do not need permission from those who once looked down on them. When I open a way, old walls cannot argue with my power. When I call your name in favor, opposing words cannot erase what I have written. You will not have to prove yourself through bitterness or struggle. The very change in your life will testify that I have been with you. The peace upon your face will testify that I have healed the hidden places. The way you rise after seasons that seem to bury you will cause others to see that I still do wonders through those who place their trust in me. So prepare your heart. Keep the necessary silence. Receive with humility. Believe that what I am doing is not small, not accidental, and not late. Good news is moving toward you, and when it arrives, you will know that I never stopped working for you. Even in the nights when you thought heaven was completely silent, you have passed through storms that were formed to make you fall, but they could not destroy you because I held you in my hand. There were days when the winds rose so fiercely that you thought you would no longer have enough strength to stand. Nights when the pain was so thick that you thought dawn would never find you. Seasons when others looked at you and thought you would break under the weight of what had happened. But you are still here, not because you were never weak, not because you never cried, not because you never had moments when you wanted to let go, but because I was there, quietly lifting you when your knees trembled, covering you when the words of people became harsh, and keeping the light within you from going out, even though darkness tried many times to surround you. I protected your honor, even when lies were spoken behind your back. I covered you, even when the people you once trusted turned and walked away. I stood close beside you in the moments when you doubted yourself, when you wondered whether you were wrong, lacking, or worthy of being left behind. My beloved child, I have never looked at you with the disappointment you once feared. I have never called you a mistake. I have never defined you by the times you stumbled, the choices you regretted, or the seasons you had to crawl through in tears. You are my child, loved, preserved, called by name with kindness, and I am proud of you. Not because you have been perfect, but because you did not let go of the light, even though darkness tried many times to make you weary. You did not give up. You did not allow the storms to have the final voice. You remained, kept breathing, kept believing, kept walking, even when it was only one very small step. Some people do not understand that victory because they only see the outside. They do not know how much heaviness you had to fight in silence. They do not know the times you had to wipe your own tears and continue doing what was right. They do not know that you chose forgiveness while your heart was still hurting. Chose kindness when you yourself needed to be lifted. You chose hope when every sign around you seemed to say there was nothing left to expect. But I know, I saw it all, and now I am bringing your reward to you in a way only my love can arrange. Do not fear how that blessing will come. Do not worry if others do not understand, do not believe, or do not know why you are still standing in the middle of the things they thought would make you collapse. This never needed their approval. It does not need to be explained to those who did not walk with you through your longest nights. It does not need to be proven before eyes that only know how to doubt. What I am doing within you requires your obedience, your trust, and your silence at the right time. There are things I give that are not meant to be brought before the crowd too soon, because a young blessing needs protection from noise, jealousy, and words without faith. I tell you to keep silent, not to isolate you, but to preserve what I am forming so it becomes complete, pure, and in season. You obeyed even when obedience hurt you. You trusted me even when that trust required you to release things you once wanted to keep. You praised me in seasons where there seemed to be nothing to praise, when your hands were empty but your heart still tried to lift a small word of thanks. You chose to stand on the side of light when you had every reason to become bitter. You chose not to take revenge when you had every reason to justify your anger. You chose to continue walking with me when the road was not yet clear, when the answer had not yet come, when what you were waiting for was still hidden behind the veils of time. That is why this blessing has been designed specifically for you. It carries the mark of the journey you have walked, the fragrance of the tears you offered, and the depth of the faithfulness you kept in the secret place. This is your moment, not so you can become proud, but so you can recognize that I am the one who never forgets those who endure faithfully in silence. There are things only you and I understand. There are battles only you and I know. There are prayers no one heard. But I kept them before me like precious seeds. Therefore, do not rush to bring everyone into what I am doing if I have not told you to do so. Let this moment be the place where you rest in my love. Let it be the place where you breathe deeply, receive peace, and know that finally you do not have to prove how much you have endured. I witnessed it. I remembered it. I prepared. Every seed you sowed in the dry season is about to sprout. Every act of kindness you gave when you had little strength left is being made fruitful by me. Every prayer you spoke in weariness is being answered in a way deeper than you imagined. Every tear you shed has not been wasted. I am turning them into the anointing oil of restoration, into the sign of a life that has been touched, into the fragrance of someone who passed through pain and still did not lose tenderness. Every loss you carried will no longer be only a story of sorrow. In my hands, they will be exchanged for joy, wisdom, freedom, and a mature peace that no one can steal from you. I have never forgotten you. I have never ignored you. Even when you thought the heavens were silent, I have always held you in the palm of my hand. Even when you could not feel that support, there are things I withheld not to leave you lacking, but to give them to you at the right time, when your heart would be ready enough to receive without losing peace. And now, I am opening that hand. I am releasing the things reserved for you, the answers that waited for the right season, the doors prepared behind walls that seemed impossible to cross. The door you knocked on with tears is about to open, not just slightly, so you would doubt, but wide open at my command. Chains are breaking off your life. Heaviness is losing its power. Waiting is entering its ending. But when this happens, walk through with humility, not forgetting the days when I kept you in the secret place. Remember that blessing does not come only to make your heart lighter, but also to make you a source of light for others. Remember that restoration does not merely return what was lost, but also teaches you to live with greater wisdom, greater depth, and greater nearness to me. You are no longer the one defined by the storm. You are the one I preserved through the storm, rebuilt after the storm, and led into a harvest after months and days when it seemed nothing could grow anymore. So stand still in peace. My beloved child, do not panic at the way I act. Do not shrink your hope just because the past once disappointed you. Do not let the voices of others decide how much joy you are allowed to have. I am doing what I promised. I am opening what was closed. I am untying what was bound. I am lifting what was once pressed down. And as you step into this season, you will know that every tear, every long night, every endurance, and every time you chose not to give up was seen by me. You are mine, loved in my hands, and what I have held back for you is now being released in my beautiful timing. This is a moment of generational shifting, because what I am doing in you will not stop with your life alone. My beloved child, listen to me with all the awareness in your heart, because the blessing I place upon you is not only to renew your present, but also to open a way for those who come after you. What I begin in you will continue to flow through your family, through your children, through the people placed within your sphere of influence. I am not only healing a single wound, I am touching cycles that have lasted too long. I am not only lifting you from a season of weariness, I am raising up within you a new foundation, so that what once bound former days will no longer have the right to enter the days ahead. Patterns of pain that once repeated again and again will be broken. The lack that once caused you to live in anxiety will no longer be the shadow over your future. The fear that passed from season to season will have to retreat before my light, for my favor rests upon you not as something passing, but as the mark of love and purpose. You are not only called to survive through darkness, you are called to become a place where my light shines out. Where there was once silence because of pain, I will place a song. Where there were once tears because of disappointment, I will cause praise to bloom. Where there was once darkness that made you bow your head, I will cause you to stand in peace and renewed faith. Therefore, prepare your heart. Do not let your heart become too narrow for what I am doing. Do not let people's comments make you doubt what I have spoken in the secret place. You do not need a crowd to confirm you. You do not need applause to know you are chosen. You do not need anyone to fully understand your journey in order to keep walking. What you need is to trust me. Stay close to me and keep your heart upright as everything begins to move. They may speak, question, and doubt, but you must not allow their voices to become louder than my word within you. I have spoken, and my word does not return empty. Stand firm, my child. When I say the time is near, do not treat it as a distant word. Understand that there are things being placed into position, doors being prepared to open, and circumstances being shifted in ways you cannot yet see. Do not be distracted by small things that want to pull your eyes away from faith. Do not delay obedience. Do not let your heart become so busy with fear that you miss the peace I am giving you. Look with the eyes of faith, because I am working in hidden places. What I do will be greater than what you imagined. It will not only change the way you see your circumstances, but also cause you to understand that I have always been preparing a path far beyond the limits you once set. Be ready, my beloved child, because when this shift begins to appear, you will realize that my hand has been quietly guiding it all for a long time. You are covered, led, supported, and what I have begun in you will continue to bear fruit through many generations.